A saga that transcends mere history, and a tale of a brilliant mind rising from obscurity to touch the very pinnacle of power, only to crash into the depths of defeat and exile. In this video, we journey into the heart and soul of Napoleon Bonaparte, the man behind the myth, the military genius whose innovations revolutionized warfare and whose ambition changed the face of a continent. From the early sparks of glory in revolutionary France to the creation of an empire, from triumphs that resounded across Europe to a downfall that echoes as a profound lesson to us all, we're about to delve into a story as inspiring as it is tragic. This is not just history. It's a human story filled with passion, courage, dreams, and the fragility of grandeur. Join me in unraveling the enigma of Napoleon, a figure who still speaks to us today, reminding us of the fleeting nature of glory and the eternal complexities of greatness. The shadow of revolutionary France looms large over the story of Napoleon Bonaparte, a figure whose genius was forged in the crucible of a nation in turmoil. The French Revolution, beginning in 1789, was a period of intense upheaval that tore down the old aristocratic order and gave birth to new political ideals. It was a time of hope, violence, and chaos, where the quest for liberty clashed with the brutal realities of political infighting and civil unrest. Napoleon's rise to power can only be understood with delving into this tumultuous backdrop. His early military campaigns were characterized by audacity and skill, making him a hero of the Republic. A standout moment that marked his ascendance was the Siege of Toulon in 1793, where he deftly orchestrated artillery attacks, leading to a decisive victory for revolutionary forces. This triumph caught the eye of the leaders of the day, and his appointment as brigadier general signaled his emergence as a force to be reckoned with. However, his rise was not just the product of military brilliance, but also his ability to navigate the complexities of revolutionary politics. As the tumult of revolutionary France continued, Napoleon's influence extended beyond the battlefield and into the political arena. In 1799, discontent with the ruling French Directory created an opportunity that Bonaparte seized with his characteristic audacity. Orchestrating the coup of 18 Brumaire, he effectively overthrew the Directory and replaced it with the consulate, installing himself as first consul. This move was more than a mere power grab. It was a chance to reshape France. Under his guidance, the establishment of the consulate ushered in a period of stability and reform that the struggling nation sorely needed. Chief among his achievements was the introduction of the Code Napoleon, or Civil Code, in 1804, a groundbreaking legal framework that modernized French law and still influences legal systems worldwide today. But Napoleon's vision extended further. His administrative reforms streamlined the French government, reducing corruption and inefficiency, while his emphasis on education, infrastructure, and equality laid the groundwork for a more unified and prosperous France. These changes were not without controversy, and his authoritarian tendencies sparked debate and opposition. Yet his role in shaping post-revolutionary France is undeniable, as he transformed a nation torn by conflict into a centralized state with explicit legal and administrative structures. In 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte's ambition reached its pinnacle as he proclaimed himself Emperor of the French, embarking on a profound transformation that departed from the revolutionary ideals that once defined the nation. His rule initiated a rapid expansion of the French Empire, exemplified by crucial battles such as Austerlitz, Jena, and Friedland. These triumphs showcased his unparalleled strategic acumen, leading to occupation of lands that reshaped the continental map. But Napoleon's ambitions extended beyond mere territorial conquests. He sought to unify Europe under French influence, giving birth to the Continental System in 1806, an economic blockade designed to cripple the British economy. Though this system's effectiveness was questionable and created tensions with allied and neutral powers, it was a testament to Napoleon's far-reaching aspirations. His stunning victories at Austerlitz, Jena-Auerstedt, and Wagram were masterpieces of planning and execution that further consolidated his power. However, the story of Napoleon's rule is more than just one of unbridled success. The invasion of Russia in 1812 stands as a stark reminder of ambition's limits. Despite initial triumphs, including a hard-fought victory at Borodino, the campaign soon became a quagmire. The Russians' scorched earth tactics, the merciless winter, and insurmountable logistical challenges decimated his Grande Armée. The catastrophic retreat from Moscow marked the beginning of Napoleon's downfall, a downfall from which his empire never fully recovered. Through the prism of these military campaigns, we witness a complex weave of genius and overreach, innovation and hubris. And if you would like to delve deep into more astounding historical figures that were as complex as Napoleon Bonaparte, remember to hit that subscribe button below. Continuing on, the downfall of Napoleon Bonaparte is a complex tapestry woven from a series of military defeats and the relentless pressure exerted by coalition forces. A critical turning point was the Battle of Leipzig in 1813, also known as the Battle of the Nations. Here, the combined armies of Russia, Prussia, Austria, and Sweden overpowered Napoleon's forces in what would become the largest battle in Europe before World War I. The loss marked a devastating blow to Napoleon's control over Europe, shattering his power and beginning a rapid decline. Faced with continuing losses and the inexorable advance of coalition forces towards Paris, Napoleon's position became increasingly untenable. The leaders of Europe united against him, and their campaigns eroded the once mighty French Empire. In April 1814, with no other options, Napoleon abdicated the throne and was exiled to the small island of Elba in the Mediterranean. Though he retained the title of emperor, his rule was confined to this tiny realm. Napoleon's downfall and first exile were more than mere historical events. They symbolized the end of an era. His ambitious dream of a united Europe under French control lay in ruins, undone by the combined will of nations determined to resist his dominance. In February 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte managed to escape his confinement on the island of Elba and return to French soil. Upon his arrival, he was met with enthusiastic support and quickly began to mobilize a new army infused with the old spirit of the Napoleonic Wars. This whirlwind of activity culminated in the Battle of Waterloo in June 1815, where Napoleon faced the Duke of Wellington's Allied forces and Gebhard Leberecht von Blücher's Prussian army. The Battle of Waterloo was a closely fought contest, with both sides displaying extraordinary skill and determination. However, the Allied and Prussian forces proved too firm in the end, and Napoleon's army was defeated. This loss marked the final and irrevocable end of Napoleon's rule as Emperor of the French. Forced to abdicate again, he was captured by the British and exiled to the remote island of St. Helena, where he would spend the last years of his life. In the aftermath of Waterloo, the map of Europe was redrawn, and the continent embarked on a new path, forever altered by the shadow of the man who had once dominated it. The final chapter of Napoleon Bonaparte's extraordinary life was spent in confinement on the remote island of St. Helena, a desolate, wind-swept outpost in the South Atlantic Ocean. Banished there after his defeat at Waterloo, Napoleon found himself in a world dramatically different from the grand palaces and battlefield command tents he had once known. His existence in St. Helena was marked by isolation, frustration, and declining health. The once mighty emperor was confined to a damp and small residence known as Longwood House, under the watchful eye of British Governor Sir Hudson Lowe. During these last years, Napoleon spent much of his time reflecting on his past triumphs and failures, dictating his memoirs, and engaging in intellectual pursuits. He was visited by a few loyal followers and curious dignitaries who made the arduous journey to the island. Amid these reflections, his health progressively deteriorated. His death on May 5, 1821, has been the subject of much debate and controversy. While the official cause was recorded as stomach cancer, subsequent investigations have fueled theories of possible arsenic poisoning, though conclusive evidence remains elusive. When Napoleon Bonaparte exhaled his final breath, it was like the epic finale of a blockbuster saga that had transformed Europe. But he wasn't just a historical headline. He was a groundbreaking military tactician, a legal visionary with the Code Napoleon, and even a metric system cheerleader, all rolled into one complex, insatiable powerhouse. While his genius rewrote the rules of war and governance, his unquenchable thirst for glory turned him into Europe's ultimate chess master, sacrificing democratic ideals on the altar of his ambitions. His tomb in Paris may be grand, but his real legacy is an ever-evolving epic that challenges us to explore the complexities of power, leadership, and human duality. Napoleon is a paradoxical titan, a man whose brilliance and flaws echo simultaneously across the corridors of history, law, and war. Now check out our video on the story of Vlad the Impaler.